Hi, I'm Andile Kumalo, and you're watching Entrepreneurs Stay Alive, brought to you by I'm an Entrepreneur. So recently we've had the state president announce a few measures around restaurants, and the country has been dealing with these measures for a week or so, and it looks like coming down the horizon, if we don't flatten the curve, there may very well be even more measures. Joining me on the line is head of the Restaurants Association of South Africa, Ms. Wendy Alberts. I'm pretty sure, Wendy, you've been dealing with this issue. I'm pretty sure sleep has been minimal in the past few days and weeks. Talk to us about where we are now as far as restaurant restrictions are concerned, and what is your view about what's to come?
Thank you so much. So in terms of the restaurant industry at this point in time, as you well know, the restrictions are 50 people in any establishment. That includes staff. The next thing is obviously that all establishments need to keep a register. The third thing is that there is restricted liquor trading times. So no selling of liquor on either side of 9 a.m. or after 6 p.m. Mondays to Saturdays, and on Sundays and public holidays before 9 a.m. and 1 p.m. in the afternoon. So that is in summary what the restrictions are at the point in time, but the restrictions aren't our challenges. Our challenges at this point in time is certainly the mixed messages that industry is giving to our people, as well as very poor communication. So one is we've got a tremendous amount of police raid currently happening. It is compromising our patrons feeling safe to eat in our restaurants. And the second thing is the register. So we're waiting for official communication. And although I know it's a directive, we can stand head over heels trying to tell a sergeant that is closing and confiscating my liquor licenses as well as the liquor on site, that the minister gave directive on TV. They're not interested. They don't want to hear us. So we've really become a victim of police bullying at this point in time because of the lack of communication. And I think the other thing, we've appealed to landlords to freeze the leases, and we've appealed to the banks to freeze interest rates. And the banks are not coming to the party. So we say to government, you have to put pressure on the banks to freeze bank loans and to freeze home loans and to freeze the interest rate for restaurants. So we've also appealed to the SARS to freeze VAT payments. So what is happening is that we've got restaurants that their rents are $700,000. How can you possibly even pay that rent on 50 people in your restaurant? We need support. We need government support. We need funding. Our restaurant industry is in a dire strait. So they're really in a crisis state at this point in time. So whilst I respect that COVID-19 is a world and a global pandemic at this point in time, we also have people that we need to put food on the table. And we've got a large amount of staff that we employ in the industry that have been laid off, and they've got unpaid layoffs. So our restaurants are merely trying to stay open to bring cash flow in to be able to support the staff.
What can I do? What are my options? Because there's a lot going on, isn't there? I mean, I've got staff, there's people that if I put out of work, they're not going to have anything to eat. But at the same time, I'm not having enough foot traffic inside to be able to justify their salaries. What can I do?
There's a number of different elements in the toolkit that we've certainly put together that restaurants can reach out to us to give them. So the first thing we've said is get hold of your landlord and freeze your lease. The second part is that you need to get hold of your bank and you need to freeze your capex and your payments and any of those installments. The next thing, we need to get hold of SARS and we need to try and put VAT delays in. Then the next thing what we do is we say to the restaurants that they need to start talking to their staff about unpaid layoffs, some paid layoffs, in negotiations with the Employment Act. So we need to get those conversations starting, that the staff understand what the potential consequences are on them. Where restaurants have done the layoffs already, those staff members have gone to UIF to start making application for financial support.
The toolkit that you spoke of, is that from the association and is it available online?
Correct. That's from the association, that has been prepared by experts and that has come from official communications. So there's a closing procedure, there's a policy document that talks about laying off staff, there's a document that talks about UIF applications, there's a processes for the funding of the UIF department for these small businesses.
That will help restauranteers that will be getting this particular recording, of course, through all of our networks for the day. We're trying to help entrepreneurs stay alive, and restaurants are a big part for us. So we appreciate your time and all the best, by the way.
Thank you so much.
All right. Take care. Bye.